we're doing these for the foreseeable future every night at 9 o'clock, and you can ask questions and stuff. And I have a little bit of a different thing that we're going to do tonight. So we'll take a few questions first before we jump into that. I have been recording reviews all day. I have recorded a lot of reviews. I am 3 weeks ahead on recording reviews at this point in time. I finished my series, Games That Changed My Life. You'll see that finish up next week. And I started a new series, which I'll talk about later, which I'm having a good time doing. And just all kinds of different things that are going on. But I do need to maybe take a break this weekend. We'll see. So let's see here. No questions as of yet, but I do want to say hi to everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Am I streaming? I feel like I'm out there. I haven't got any questions yet, though. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I should probably pull this up on another page somewhere just to check. Well, anyhow, I see somebody got... Alrighty. Folks, I do not know what's going on, but I think I'm back. Well, it looks like I'm back. So I guess I'm moving some stuff around here. I'm going over here. And there we go. All right. Well, man, the internet is acting up and doing all sorts of uncouth, unfun things at this point in time. But I believe that I'm back to some degree. So, hey. Come on now. Get back on the screen there. Well, that was a great start. I am so enjoying this. All right, folks. Welcome back to Dice Hour Daily Chat tonight. Blah, 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 blah. It's just me. And I'm taking questions. So let's get some questions here. If you ask questions, everything just blew up. So if you could re-ask them at some point in time. And I'll get back. Yes, I'm seeing the questions now. So coming through. Let's see. Can you read this, Tom? Yes, I can read this. How did you like Picard? I have not yet finished it. I will probably get around to getting it at some point in time. Tom, what game would you recommend for someone that wants to play Food Chain Magnate but is put off by the artwork? I have to be honest, I am not the person to ask that, because while I'm not a huge fan of how the game looks, I think it's very prototypey, I didn't like the game either, so I wouldn't be a good person to find this. What game was the most underwhelming to dump out on the table for its review? Quite a few games, actually, have been underwhelming as time has gone by, because there's just a few pieces for them. I wouldn't say there's any specific one. What color Mio's in your jug at the moment? Just orange. No, actually, no. It's a little red at this point. Oh yeah, it's like I forget what flavor it is. I'm not tasting it right now. All right, folks. Here's your challenge for tonight. Ask me questions that I haven't got asked before, because I'm already seeing the same thing. What's your favorite kids game? Is there a theme you wouldn't play a game for? Blah blah blah. Let's be unique and interesting, because it's Friday night and I need unique and interesting. But also not weird. Okay, weird's fine. All right, anyhow. I've just recently discovered reviews for the unmentionable game Nothing Personal. Well, I think we're allowed to say it. Finally, the gangster personas make sense here. Why the gangster theme? Because it was just the theme that worked for that. I felt that... that did not work here. Hang on, there we go. I felt that the gangster theme fit the thing very well. I don't promote gangsters, but I thought it was fun. Let's see. What's the process of choosing the dice characters for contributors? Well, I mean, we did dice characters for a lot of the contributors. I just went through and I picked the main Dice Tower staff, and then we picked the ones who were the most consistent. That's since changed. I haven't made new dice folk for a while, so I will probably swing around and make some more of them eventually. Right now, we're kind of keeping one eye on the budget for the Dice Tower. You know, we're doing okay. I have it built up for the year, but there's a lot of things that are going to probably fall through as time goes by. Melody's been doing homework mostly behind me. Can we get a detailed room tour of the current room you're in? No. No, that's okay. Will the Dice Tower be reviewing or doing a video about Fallout Shelter soon? Yep, this week, I think. Have you ever considered playing Final Fantasy Online? Not really. Although I wouldn't mind playing games online. For the first time in 15 years, I have dabbled with the idea of I've dabbled with the idea of getting back into a massive multiplayer online game. I've not done one. I know they take up a ton of time. I did not want to get back into it, but I'm debating it. I'm definitely debating it at this point in time. Let's see here. The best sandwich I ever had. Well, I've had a lot of good sandwiches in my life, but one of the best ones was at the little restaurant that was right inside the Origins Market, which has since gone away, and the owner of that, who has since passed away, he made me, I went in and he said, what kind of sandwich do you want? And they had this giant sandwich sitting there, and I said, I want that one, the one that you have there. He's like, well, that's just there for show. And I said, well, can you make something as close to that as you can? He made it, and I said, this is phenomenal. I went back every day to the point where he remembered me. I came back next year, went every day. I came back next year, and then he gave me a free sandwich. I emailed him, sent him a postcard from Korea, which he put up on the wall. And I never forgot that place. I loved it. Would I rather be a dinosaur or a dolphin? Probably a dolphin, because dolphins are currently alive. The first car I ever owned was a Toyota something or other, I think. I actually don't really know. If you ask me like what kind of cars I have right now, I have an Acadia and I have a black car. My knowledge of cars, I have to fill my brain with knowledge of board games, so knowledge of cars is right out. Do you remember the first comic book that you read? Yes! It was a comic book about Superman, and I remember distinctly in this comic book, my neighbor had it. I remember that Superman was fighting a bunch of bank robbers, and he got to the lady, and the lady's like, you wouldn't hit a lady? And he's like, no, and he flicked her, and she knocked her out, which at the time I thought, wasn't that kind of the same as hitting her? But and then there was some guy who was able to freeze Superman in time. And then I found a bunch of Scrooge McDuck comics, but I never really read like Marvel comics. I saw them a lot until I went to college, and I had a friend who had a ton of them, had the Age of Apocalypse, and I read through that whole thing. Have I ever done yoga? I have. I really, 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 really dislike it. It sounds like Jamie thinks viticulture sales increase when you do your top 100 list. Have you thought about selling off the rights to your top 20 games? That seems quite unethical, actually, the rights to my top 20 games. And my number 6 is Monopoly, because I've had a change of heart about it. Would I wear an Indiana Jones style fedora? I'd wear almost any style fedora. What show have you been binge watching? I really haven't been. I've been watching a lot of movies. I haven't started binge watching a show or not. I've been busy so I've been so busy just working on reviews. I come home, watch a couple movies, play some video games, and then I go right to bed. I have not really taken a lot of time off. I'm just trying to get ahead here on the Dice Tower. I'm probably not going to work tomorrow. But I am going to work because I'm going to play games. I got some games here. So I got a pile of games all over the place here. And some of these I'm going to play, and some of them, actually, I'm probably going to play all of them at some point. There's some that I'm really excited about. That one's getting played tomorrow. That one's getting played tomorrow. That one's getting played tomorrow. I'm not excited about it, but I think my kids will like it. That one's getting played. This is like totally useless to you. Okay, so I'll come back to questions, and what's the worst smell I've ever smelled is easily vomit. I don't think I've ever smelled anything I think that's as bad as vomit smell. But anyway. Okay, so we're going to do something here real quick, just for the fun of it, because I'm going to tell you about a new series I'm doing that's going to start not next week, but the week after that. And it's called 10,000 and Below. And this is where I'm going to go to Board Game Geek and look at games that are ranked 10,000 and under. So 10,000, 10,001, 10,002, etc. And just go through them. Not all of them, but I'm going to do 100 at a time. And I'm just going through them, picking out the ones I have played. And I played more of them than you might think. Telling you what I think about them. Looking at ones that get a lot of ratings and wondering why they're there or not. So this would be a fun... for me, they've been fun. I've already recorded 8 of them. They're about 20 minutes long each. So hopefully you enjoy those. But when doing that, I thought, what about the games that are not even ranked on Board Game Geek? So I just did a little bit of a search here for that. So let me see if I can pull this up here. Why do I have 3 screens on here? There we go. Okay, so we're going to pull up some games here, and then we're going to just look at them here together. Now, these games have only 10 voters on them, and we're just going to pick a few of them, and then you guys will vote on the one that seems the most interesting. There's nothing about this at all that has anything to do with anything. I just thought it'd be fun. So I'm going to go through and pick ones that I think seem interesting here. So Carnag the Congregations. Let's see what else. I'm just going to go through these. Some of these I might even... I think I've even seen Angry Birds Star Wars Jenga Hoth battle game. Basketball Bones, Little Bouncing, Game Shop Workday. I got to pick 5 of them, okay? So let's see here. We'll go through these. Go for Broke. Isn't that an actual game? Sheepdogs of Pendleton Hill. The Wolf. Oh, there's one I've actually ranked. Didn't rank it very high, though. All right, Darklands. We'll do that one because that one sounds bad. Flush, I've actually played Flush. It has a little toilet that runs around and you throw stuff into it. Let's see. Zoodlums. All right. I've got 3 now. Once Upon a Time Man. I'm afraid to click that, but I'm going to click it for now, but I'm going to reserve the right to delete that one once we see it. And... Zombie TV. All right, here we go. So these are the 5 games. So all these have 10 or less ratings. So here we got Carnag the Congregations. So let's see what this game is. I'm going to type these in here. Carnag the Congregations. So this is a small expansion for Carnag. Oh, it's an expansion. It has been eliminated. Let's find another one to take its place. All right, moving back up. Game Shop Gladiators. All right, so Darklands is a world in which you command the armies of man and beast that your ancestors once did for power, glory, power, or simple survival. All righty, so that's Darklands. We'll take a look at some pictures here. Looks like a miniature style game. Wait, are they all drunk? Sozzled? Sipping? Bladdered? Drunkard? Quaffing? Swigging? Boozing? That's so stupid. Okay, so game number 1. And that's Darklands. Game number 2, Zoodlums. In Zooligans, I guess the name must have been changed from Zooligans to Zoodlums because... they're both such good names. You take on the role of zookeepers trying to find animals to complete their exhibits. Zoodlums. You got exhibit goals. There's no pictures here other than the box, but we'll take a look at this box here. You build the zoo. Zoodlums. Those animals are like very afraid, and that girl is just like she's gonna capture them. It's a self-published game. All right. Once Upon a Time, Man. I don't get the man part. There's definitely women on the cover. Oh, that must be the translation. Oh, that actually looks a lot of fun. No, maybe not fun, but okay. So Once Upon a Time, Man. It's an educational game. You roll around and you try to earn some cards. So all right. So we got Once Upon a Time. ... Man. All right. Next one, Zombie TV. This is from Crooked Dice Game Design Studio. 5 of us. We got to keep going. It's a standalone zombie horror spinoff from acclaimed Spy-Fi Miniatures game ZTV. Came out in 2012. This looks very here. What is this? This is why you you go and look at these games because you'll never see it. Here we got Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz team. It's not even Dorothy, right? These are, for some reason, that guy's wearing a trash can. All right, those are the zombies. There's a guy in a chicken suit. Ditch the chicken suit. These are not terribly bad painted things. Okay, so that is Zombie TV. And the fifth and final one, Game Shop Gladiators. You're going to go up against 5 different gamer types, so you'll be top gamer, CCGer, RPGer, Eurogamer, Wargamer, or the 18XX gamer. One-on-one combat. What? All right, we got to look. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe we can get a closer look at a card. Okay, Madam Z, Anzu, Dixie, and Rita Risk, and Trudy. All right, so someone made like a very, very meta game here called Game Shop Gladiators. All right, so Game Shop Gladiators. All right, so I'm going to, you can pick as many of these as you would like. I'm going to make a poll here and stick it in the comments here. So let's see. I've made the poll. Now I got to add a comment here. So go ahead and click on the poll, and I'm going to share the results. We're going to look at them live on screen right now. So which of these is the best game? Darklands, Zoodlums, Once Upon a Time, Man, Zombie TV, or Game Shop Gladiators? I have my own personal favorite. So let's see which one you guys like. Only one vote so far for Zombie TV. If you want to see the... Oh, no, Once Upon a Time, Man has caught up. No, Zombie TV has pulled ahead. Oh, Darkland's got a vote. Finally, the drunk miniatures are on the board. Zombie TV seems to be winning there. Apparently, making Zoodlums is not getting anything. But if it had been called Zooligans, would it have got more votes? All right. They're going to ask me to stop doing these daily chats, or I guess I'm the one who asked people to do them, so maybe not. The drunk one was Darklands. Zoodlums was about zombie hooligans or something like that. Once Upon a Time, Man, trivia game. Zombie TV was about more miniatures with Alice in Wonderland creatures. Oh, you can't pick 0. You can't pick 0. You got to vote for something. 22 votes. You can vote for multiples, too. You can vote for as many as you want. So, well, this is not a clear winner here. I mean, it looks like Zombie TV has it, but it is not too far behind to have Game Shop Gladiators at 26 or 25 and Darklands. So it is a close match here. But I think Zombie TV is going to eke out. Oh, no. Game Shop Gladiators almost caught up there. So 13 to 11 to 10 votes. Oh, no. Zombie TV has it. Alrighty, so Zombie TV is the winner there. Out of 50 votes, they got 16, 32%, a resounding victory. Alrighty, so we're going to go back to... Well, I'm going to go to one of these scenes here. Just the camera, please. And without the Skype. There we go. I'm back. Alrighty. Well, there you have it. So. Alrighty. The dice rolling. Okay, let's see. Listen, folks, I'm going to start banning people from chat. I know I'm touching my face a little bit here. But before I did this, I washed my hands. I don't think I'm going to make myself sick. So please, you're clogging up the chat. And it's slightly irritating. All right. Zombie TV, congratulations. All right, we'll go back to questions. Let me pull some questions up here. Let's see. Hey, my spider people disappeared. 10,056 is the highest game under 10K that I own and I've played. Don't like it, says Nathan. Sure, that definitely happens to people. You know, those things. Yeah, but there are games that are ranked 10,000 or less that I actually like. So I'm going to be pointing some of those out. Oh, my vote was the all the drinking dwarfs. That just made me laugh. Like, I just think that's hilarious. Let's see here. That live poll feed was exciting. Do it more. Well, I'm just going to make up a random thing here. So somebody give me a topic, and I'll make up a poll for that topic. Doesn't have to be about board games. Just give me a topic, and I'll pick the things for it. Then I'll leave it on the screen for a while, and then I'll pop it up on here and see. My wife's favorite hobby right now is doing jigsaw puzzles. She is doing a ton of them downstairs, so she's really enjoying that. Best Star Trek doctor? Nah, I don't want to do a poll on that. It's got to be a poll where I can make up the answers, because I'll miss one of the doctors or something from Star Trek. I mean, we all know it's a hologram anyway. No, maybe Bones. Doesn't matter. Marvel United. I have no initial thoughts on Marvel United because I have not played it yet. If I had to choose to either only play games with minis or wooden pieces, what would you choose? I would probably choose minis. I think I like those more than things. Oh, that's a good idea. Ice cream flavors. We'll do ice cream flavors, but I'm not going to put which is the best of these ice cream flavors? So now give me some ice cream flavors that are not common. Don't give me ridiculous like, booger ice cream. But I don't want to put vanilla or chocolate. So that might be people's favorite flavors, but I want to put some different ones there just so we're going to take vanilla and chocolate and strawberry out of the equation altogether. So I'm going to start here by putting cookie dough, because that's one that I like quite a bit, and mint chocolate chip. All right, so that's a good one to have there. And people are asking all sorts. They're still in the polls things, and I realize that there is a delay in this, so you're all behind me on there. Have you seen a clear jigsaw puzzle? It looks awesome. A clear jigsaw puzzle? No, I have not seen that. Clear jigsaw puzzle. Ugh! Why would anyone want such a thing? That is terrifyingly bad. Look at that. No. Who wants that? Moose tracks. Okay, that's a good one to put in there. All right, I'll put in pistachio, but hopefully I spell it right. Toffee. That's a good one. Rocky Road. I'll put that one in. Okay, Oreo. Sounds good. Peanut butter. I'll put peanut butter cup. How's that? Sea salt caramel. Sorry, where am I at? Let's see here. Maple bacon. I'm not sure that one's going to get a lot of votes. And rum raisin. Okay, that's good. Sorry, that's all I'm going to do. Just those. And I'm going to create the poll here. And then I'm going to post it here. So it's now in the chat. So look in the chat. I'll post it again at another point. So while we're waiting for the results of this poll to start popping in, does anybody have? Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to do fewer things next time just so they all fit on the screen. Wonder if I can make this smaller. Maybe not. Maybe. Okay. Anyhow, let's see if I have any other questions. Plum ice cream. Publix mint chocolate chip cookie is the best. Alrighty. Hey, the votes are starting to come in, so let's jump over to them. Oh, I'm in the way. I'll get out. Over here. There you go. What advice would you give someone going to Dice Tower Con for the first time? Just have fun. Ask people to play games. You can't find anyone? Find me. I'll find someone for you. Well, mint chocolate chip is clearly winning here with 9 votes. Getting a good 25% of the vote. So we'll have to wait and see how that works. I'm going to let this sit up for a while I look at other questions here from people. In case you're missing it in the comments, I'll put the poll in there again. Yeah, I can't ask I can't put in what's your favorite type of ice cream because different parts of America have different types of ice cream. Well, mint chocolate chip is now behind pistachio. That's a very sad thing because I don't think now they're neck and neck, both with 10 votes. Lime sherbet and crunch berries, says this person. That sounds good. Says a fatal paper cut. I don't disagree. I think that sounds really good. Ebooks or physical books? I like physical books, okay, but I read almost exclusively on ebooks now because anywhere I go, I have my phone. So if I'm in line at the grocery store, or if I'm, somewhere by myself, I just pull my phone out, read it. I don't have to carry the book around. I'm carrying my whole library around at any given time. It's really hard, and I know there's a good feel for the physical book, but I just have to take that one out. Alrighty. Well, I think at this point, I'm going to have to call this poll with 71 votes. And let's see who wins this one. Mint chocolate chip gets 14 of those 71 votes, 15 of those 72 votes. And then in second place, pistachio, barely beating out Moose Tracks. And then cookie dough coming in a distant fourth. And then sea salt caramel. And then peanut butter cup, rum raisin. Maple bacon only got 1 vote. And Rocky Road only got 2, despite all the number of people who tell me how much they love Rocky Road. Alrighty. Will you ever do anything in Australia? I'm not planning to do anything in Australia that involves a Dice Tower official event. But I would like to come to Australia at some point. Digital comics or physical comics? This one is easy for me. Digital comics. I love digital comics. Okay, and here's why. If you've never messed with digital comics, at least this is for the Marvel. So I'm in the middle of reading a Marvel comic here. So Secret Invasion I'm reading. This is a great one here. And so when I go through this, all right, so this is the full page comic, but that's not how I read it. I read it like this. So when you have it like this, and when you double click, see, it shows you just part of it at a time. And as you read, it's hard for me to do this backwards. It goes around the page. So it makes it easier to read like this. And I really love this. I really love how it just shows it at a time. Again, this is the whole page, but if there's something in the corner, I don't see it ahead of time, and it just goes and it makes it easier to see things. You get the full artwork on each page. It just makes reading comics so much better. I really like it. I mean, like I said, not even a close second there. No cake birthday pie for this guy. Sorry, I'm assuming you mean you. Best car freshener scent. So far, of all the ones that I've tested, there was a key lime vanilla one that Yankee Candle made, which I have not since seen. I think they discontinued that particular one, but that was my favorite. Have I ever thought about ranking every expansion for Legendary like I did for Ticket to Ride? I have most definitely thought about this. I'm actually really planning to do this. So I'm actually going to turn this up here. Whoops, I did it the wrong way. Man, I'm just not... Where is it? All right, Vasel, you are just not getting it here today. There we go. There we go. Now we can see the questions more easily. There we go. Have I ever had turducken? I have not had turducken. Do you own a bicycle? Do you bike? I don't. I used to own a bicycle, then it was stolen, and I just never got one back. I like to walk anyway. And I've decided that I'm not going to bike here in Florida. There's not a lot of good places to bike. I would have to lug the bike there. If I biked around where I'm at now, I would be in constant fear of getting hit by a car. And there's two guys in my church who have asked me to join a biking group with them. And I said, I'm not joining a nerdy bike group, but I was just kidding. I would have joined it. And then sequentially, in a period of 2 months, they both had accidents on their bikes. So, nope. There is a bike path that you can ride that goes straight from Homestead to Miami. It's a straight road. It's right next to the bus route. But if I rode that, it would have to be in very broad daylight. It's also really boring. There's nothing to see on it, unfortunately. Let's see. Everyone's talking about physical comics, you fool. I just showed you why digital is better. Also, with digital, when I'm done reading this comic, I just go right to the next, and then right to the next, and then right to the next, and I have to sit there and and also I can skip all the ads. Top 5 essential things needed to have the perfect board game themed wedding. I would make sure that both people were on board with a board game themed wedding. And then at that point, I think I would just put little mini games on people's tables to play, and that would be the extent of it. I don't know how much more I would board game theme it. Superman or Batman? Easily Batman. Batman or Joker? Why would I? I mean, I think the Joker's a fascinating villain, but I would never pick Joker over Batman. Yeah, biking in Florida is dangerous. Have you ever streamed sermons for your church? Yeah, they're streamed on our website, First Baptist Church of Cutler Ridge in Florida. Although if you're looking for me preaching, you'd have to go back almost a year to find that. Who's the funniest person on Dice Tower? I don't know. That's a really good call. So when we're in the studio, all 4 of the guys, Kenny, Roy, Z, and Mike, have all made me laugh about different things at any given point. It's being with 4 really funny guys. I'm easily the least funny. And it's just great. And I'll tell you what, of all the things I miss right now, I really miss that. I miss just everyone kind of joking and doing stuff. We're being able to pull this stuff off remotely. We're doing a lot remotely. Working by yourself is just, But anyway, we're here to be positive about these things. So let's keep going. If you could switch to the larger size iPad, would you? I had the larger size iPad. I am not switching back to it. It's around here somewhere because it's too big for me to hold on my chest at night. I read kind of like this on my bed, and I let it sit here, and it's just easy to read. Well, it's getting harder because of my failing eyesight. But the bigger one was just a little too big. This one is also real easy to manipulate with one hand. I found the bigger one was a little more difficult to do it. Now, for game purposes, it was fantastic. But I really like this size better. I don't like the mini ones. I think they're too small. What's the worst movie you ever watched at a movie theater? Little Nicky. I really liked Adam Sandler movies. And I was like, oh, there's a new one out. This sounds great. Yeah. Let's see here. Are you still able to do 4 to 5 multiplayer game reviews now considering? Yes, I am. For a few reasons. One, I always have a backlog of games that I played in the past. And also I have a game group in my house. There is advantages to having a lot of people in your house. There are disadvantages for sure. I had to clear this room before I did this, you know. So, am I caught up on questions? What is that? So, my favorite Adam Sandler movie? Well, I will take out the serious ones, mostly because I don't know that I have seen any of them. I've not seen Punch Drunk Love. I haven't seen the 9/11 one. I haven't seen the new one. The new one doesn't actually interest me at all. So, of his silly ones, my top 3 is easily Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates, and I guess I like him with Drew Barrymore, and The Waterboy. I'd probably give it to The Waterboy because it's such a stupid movie. It just makes me laugh every time. Can you do a 4-person chat with the Dice Tower crew and play some of the games you said work remotely? Well, I don't know if we all have those games. And even though we did that, I am not yet in the position where I necessarily want to play the games remotely. I mean, I know you guys want to watch us do them, but like I don't know if all those guys, we all have access to different games. Z has his games. I have the Dice Tower library, or whatever I have here at home. Mike has his stuff. Roy has his stuff. We don't necessarily have 4 copies of all these. We could do it, maybe, and maybe we will. But we got to be careful, folks. I don't know if you realize we have added some stuff to the Dice Tower. We're doing the Dice Tower daily chats. I'm doing a new show with Rado on Tuesdays and Fridays. And we're still doing our top 10s with Board Game Breakfast, crowd surfing. I don't want to add too much to our workload. So more of these live streams, there are a lot of work to set up and do. We have to be really careful that we don't overdo it. How many hours a day do you spend staring at a computer screen? A decent amount, but not as much as you might think because I'm not staring at it when I'm playing games / reviewing games. There's a lot of other stuff I do. Most of my computer screen time is spent on administrative stuff. Is my house filled with games? It is not. The pile that you see there, and then there's a little review pile here about 30 games, and then there's another 20 on top of the shelf above me that this computer's sitting on. But the majority of my games are right there. That's just the games. Those are kids' games and games that the kids would like. But I have a storage unit where I have the Dice Tower library, and I had access to that library. So like the new Dominion expansion came in, I went to that library and got out Dominion. Although it was a very entertaining day of getting into the storage unit, pressing buttons with my elbows and all sorts of things. First thing you'll make when a Dice Tower 3D printer is fully functional, I need to make a list. But the 3D printer, we have it. It's there. It's set up, and it's just sitting there. There's some problem with it. I don't think I screwed it up, but I tried to mess with it, and So now I need Roy to take a look at it, and Roy's not at the studio, so who knows when that will get fixed. I told him to take it home and look at it, so maybe that will happen at some point. With these crazy long days where potentially not a lot could be happening, do you think you would do an entire campaign in one day? Maybe. I don't know that I like doing a whole campaign in one day. And if y'all don't mind, at this point in time, I'm going to take my tie off. I know it's kind of anathema, but it's been a long day of wearing ties. And now we fight. I'm going to use my tie to wipe my face. That's probably anathema too. Alrighty. What was one of the worst experiences that you had in Korea? My daughter going to the hospital? Because I don't like my daughter going to the hospital? I don't know what you're asking for there, because Korea was a marvelous place and I loved it and miss it a lot. I heard you're in a new board game documentary. Have you watched it yet? Yes, I watched bits and parts of it. I haven't watched the whole thing. But yes, those things are always kind of deflating, because the guy who did the board game documentary probably interviewed me for 30 to 45 minutes. And then when I see it and they're like, here's the 20 seconds he used, you're like, oh, all right, cool. Let's see here. We also like pre-recorded stuff. Sure, and we're still putting up pre-recorded stuff. I know that our live streaming, top 10s and our live stream breakfast and stuff, they're not going to be as good, the remote ones, as the ones in the studio. But I'd rather do them than nothing. So that's our goal, to keep things going, and so we're going to keep trying it. Next trip to the barber, who knows? Actually, my hair has been driving me nuts, so I'm going to have my wife cut it over the weekend, I think. I don't like my hair being this long. Actually, I never liked my beard being this long, but I've resolved until we can go back out, I'm going to grow my beard as long as I can, which is a really, really slow thing here. Will you make you will bungee jump and videotape it as a stretch goal for the Dice Tower Kickstarter next year? I don't know. I don't know that I could bungee jump. I might jump off the tower at Dice Tower West. Have you managed to check the library games for missing parts and pieces yet? No. Everything has slowed its down. We are at shelf 6 right now out of 22 shelves. We're slowly fixing things. We're slowly going through it all, but I can't get to the storage unit all the time to be able to go in there and work on it. A long day of wearing ties? How many did you start the day with? No, so interestingly enough, so I always wear a tie to work, and then I always come home wearing a different tie. That happens almost every day. What I do, and I don't know why I do it, I always think that people are going to sit there and go, wait a minute, he recorded those 2 videos on the same day. So I like changing my ties. I'll record 2 videos, and then I change a tie. Then I record 2 more, then I change my tie. And I keep about 50 ties at work. So I always make sure that the one I bring home is different than the one I take, so that there's this slow rotation between home and work with the ties. So, actually, let me see if I can do this here. Nope, not that. That's the poll. But let's do this briefly. All right. So I'm going to unplug. Let's see. So, alrighty. So now we're gonna walk. Someone want to see a tour of the room? Well, let's go look at the ties. All right. So, alrighty. So here we are in my closet. So the lighting here is gonna be bad, but you can see my ties. And I have 5 racks of these. And then I got these 2, and then more room over there. So I have a lot of ties, a lot to pick from. I sorted them all out at one point by color. And they're still somewhat grouped together by color, but that's the extent of that. All right. Let's plug back in the wires I've been on. Get that back in. Let's get the good microphone plugged back in. And let's switch back. Where am I? Let's switch back to the good camera. Or the better camera, anyway. I don't have a good camera here at home. And checking that. Checking that. And checking that. All right. Looks like we're back to normal here. All right. Do you have more ties or board games? Well, definitely board games because of the Dice Tower library. At home, though, more ties. Do you spin them when it's just you? Oh, for sure. I spin them because I'm looking at them. In the morning, I just hit one and I'll look at it and look at it and look at it and I'll go, yep, that's the mood I'm in. I'll pick a tie, and I wear a black shirt a lot and just other shirts. Depends what shirt, maybe vest I'm wearing. Which is your favorite of the Indiana Jones movies? Easily Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I love that one so very much. Do you like or dislike stretch goals and Kickstarters? I really dislike them. I wish that there was just a game and you got it. I get the excitement. It's fun when I'm part of a stretch goal, but it's become a thing now where people won't back something because there's a stretch goal. There's no stretch goals, which is really weird to me. Tom's tie collection needs game trays. My eyes are bleeding. Those garish ties. Yes, yes. We should all wear the same boring ties that everyone else wears. I'll never understand that, and I'll never apologize for it. And I want to be buried in one of those garish ties. Thank you very much. Garish is just something that people throw around because they dislike color. And I will never apologize for liking color. I think it's fantastic. And yes, you can have a very colorful shirt and a colorful tie and nothing matches. But when you wear a straight color and one of those ties, it pops. And I will not apologize for it. It's fun. It makes other people smile. It makes me smile. And if it even made other people frown, I'd still do it because it was fun. All right. Who is the goofiest Vasel and why? Of my kids, it's Amy, my second oldest daughter. Of me and my brothers and sisters, probably me. Maybe my brother. And I guess that's that. Can I bring 100 of my ties to a Dice Tower convention? Attendees check them out during the day. Alrighty. I watched your original Hawaii review. Whose idea was it for Melody to hold up a meat cleaver to the game? Now I actually, that's one of those ones where when I did Hawaii and the apology video, a lot of that stuff was scripted initially. Not Hawaii. I didn't apologize for that one. Vasco da Gama. Hawaii and Vasco da Gama, both of those were a little scripted. Frosthaven's doing okay without stretch goals, but that's the exception. It is the exception, but that's okay. It's still doing really well. Thank you for the nice words, Tracy. I'm glad you're enjoying the daily night chats for us. Life's too short for boring times. It still just bothers me. I was watching an episode of a TV show where one person was criticizing another person's suit. And I was kind of sitting there going, I don't know. They're like, what a cheap suit. And I'm thinking, well, okay. They look the same to me. Is the fact that one suit's more expensive, like their $10,000 suit, does that make it better? Because it's more expensive. It was weird. But then I noticed they were all wearing boring ties. And it's like if you wore one of those colorful ties out in the business world, would people look down on you? They wouldn't take you seriously? Good, I guess. Susan says, it's my birthday today. Yay! Well, yay! Happy birthday. There used to be a restaurant here in the 80s and 90s where they would cut off your tie if you showed up and wanted to display it, so people started wearing fun ties on purpose. Yeah, I've been to one of those, and I didn't have a tie, and then I was going to go back, and I was like, oh, I don't want them to cut one of my ties. I'm going to take a boring tie, and that kind of defeats the purpose. Have you seen the new Digimon trading card game? No, but I don't play many trading card games. Are there any games you'd like to play but haven't the opportunity to do so yet? Thousands. Thousands. Sure, but I get this comments a lot, especially online. It's very similar. I've always found it kind of odd, and I won't let it stop me, obviously, that people will criticize the hats I wear, the shirts I wear, the fact I wear suspenders, my ties, my vests, the fact that you have hair on your face. It's this very odd thing that people just pick something that you do and then they run with it. You know, people are always very cautious, though. No one ever calls me Two Mole, right? If I had a big scar here, no one would ever mention it. I would. I'd probably call myself Scarface. You know, I just figure you run with what you have. So if I went bald, I would make fun of myself all the time about it because it is what it is. What do you really store in the creepy shed? Absolutely nothing. I've never been inside it. I looked in the door once and that was it. Expensive does not equal nice or unique. I will disagree on one aspect of that, though. I have found that a good shirt, when I pay for a nicer shirt, I can definitely tell a quality difference. The way it feels on me, and it lasts a long time. And shoes. Hands down, I am done buying super cheap shoes. I was like, oh, I'll just buy a new pair every year. Now that I'm paying a little bit more for shoes than I would. It's like my highest budgeted item that I wear, and it is worth it. I'm on my feet so much. I move around so much. It's so much worth it to buy good shoes. I still wouldn't buy $1,000 shoes or even shoes more than, well, I'm afraid to say the number now. Like, what's the most I've ever spent for shoes? Maybe $80 or something, $90, whatever. But I'll pay $80 shoes over the $20 shoes. I'll pay for a really good pair of shoes. Let's see here. Did I get around to playing Everdell yet? Hey, you need to listen to my podcast that's coming out this coming Tuesday. Eric and I talk about Everdell specifically. And the answer is yes. I'm the same way with Pop-Tarts. The off-brand just isn't good. Well, that's the way it is with a lot of food, right? That's kind of an interesting question. You know, like when it comes to generic food, which ones are just as good as the store brands? Definitely not ice cream. Ice cream, the name brands are better than the store brands. Bread is a toss-up because my dad delivered bread, and I know that the same company made both. My dad delivered the store bread from the thing. Now, if you bought certain types of the name brand bread, yes, those were better. But if you're just buying a loaf of white bread or wheat bread, you're way better off just buying the store bread because it's made by the same company. Vegetables, canned vegetables, I never noticed a difference between those. I suppose there might be some. But Pop-Tarts for sure. The off-brand is not nearly as good as actual name Pop-Tarts. I think cereal, the name brand cereals seem to be better than those ones you buy in a big bag. Oreos are definitely better than all the rip-offs of Oreos, I think. So there's some things like that. But like the wafer cookies, the generic ones are just as good as the name brand ones. So any timeline for the Pledge Manager? Yes, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, it will be this coming week. There's just been so much going on with it that we had to put together, and a lot of it's shipping. Our shipping stuff has changed this year. we're basically paying for our shipping here, and we worked our hardest to bring the shipping costs down because we know people hate shipping and will hate paying for shipping, and so we're trying to make it as low as we possibly can without us then paying for the shipping. So we had to work all that out. That should launch this week. Any extreme activity that you wished you did before having a family? Bungee jump, skydiving, 12-hour game of diplomacy. I don't know that me having a family would change anything. Like, I could say, well, I don't want to get injured because I have a family. But if I didn't have a family, I still wouldn't want to get injured. Me having a family doesn't have anything to do with that. I feel like it depends on the percentages of survival, I suppose. Like, I get in a car every day, and that percentage of me getting in an accident is pretty high. I'm just afraid of the fear of falling from the bungee jump and skydiving. I think that would scare me a lot, so that's why I haven't done those. Also, I don't feel like I need to do them. Like, it doesn't sound like it's super fun. Like, for example, climbing Mount Everest has zero attraction to me. It doesn't sound fun to climb Mount Everest. So I wouldn't, and rock climbing doesn't sound fun to me, which is why I wouldn't do that. What has been the hardest letter so far for your top 10 series? Maybe N, actually, the one we just did that's coming up Tuesday. Turkey Hill ice cream is better than Friendliest brand. No joke. Turkey Hill is amazing. What 80 to 90s cartoon IP would you like to see in board game form that isn't planned yet? He-Man? I don't know. Coke is better than all the knockoff brands. Well, that's, I think, a matter of opinion, right? For me, you say, when I go to a restaurant, I'm like, can I have a Coke? They're like, we only have Pepsi. I'm like, sure. Can I have Pepsi? We only have Coke? Sure. We don't have either. We have RC. Fine. This is generic cola from Walmart. Sure. I don't drink a lot of Coke, so there's that too. But I honestly, the only one I'm real picky about would be cream soda. But even then, I'll drink the generic brand. So for me, soda is not on the list. I'll drink the generic stuff, no problem. But I do know people who drink a lot of soda are very particular. Have you watched anything really good recently that you'd like to share? The best thing I've watched in the past couple weeks has been the new Pixar movie. Thank you for all the people who are enjoying the Corner to Corner show with Rado. I appreciate that. Are you having any sports withdrawals? Psst, I wouldn't even notice. I just don't do much with sports. That's all. I just realized it's 10:03. I'm going to do a couple more minutes because we had a kind of a hang up there at the start, but we'll catch up. And then we'll end. DuckTales. Yeah, DuckTales would be... They do have a board game, though, for DuckTales. DuckTales Munchkin. Says the man dressed in black like an Amish. Well, you're right, but I wore black because I was wearing a colorful tie. And I was wearing another colorful tie before that. And that's why I wore black. I don't have a problem with people wearing black, too. I mean, you can wear whatever color you want. It doesn't matter to me. I just find it odd that people really go after other people's choice of clothing a lot. And now people are... Did you watch Rodney's April Fool's joke video? I watched a few minutes of it. I have not watched the whole thing because I already know how to play Monopoly. Did you ban Eric from putting 2 editions of Merchants of Venus in his top M list, or has he stopped doing it? I don't remember if he did or not. Did you get the Galaga tie from Loot Crate? I don't get Loot Crate or any of those crates. We got the one that we did for the Dice Tower snack talk, where we got some snacks and we ate them from like the other country snack boxes. In fact, I have that here, and we're going to be doing a snack testing thing here at home. So one of the things that I talked about with the kids today, and I talked to my wife too, is we need to... Sorry, I'm getting off track here, but I'm going to come back around. But we need to pick and do something different on some of the days of the week, just so that we're having some sort of schedule. And, oh, this is what we do on Tuesdays. This is what we do on Thursdays. So I'm going to sit down and figure out some sort of schedule so we can do that. Because right now, just all flowing together into one, and it's driving the kids crazy. But anyway, that's why I don't get many of those loot crates and different things like that. I looked at some of them. There was a hot sauce one. There was I guess there's a tie one. There's a socks and stuff. And I just can't get over the fact that if I really want this stuff for a cheaper price, I can go pick out what I want. So if I can go pick out what I want, I could just go, for example, for hot sauce, go online, pick some random hot sauces and buy them. That's the same thing as the crate that they send to me, and it's cheaper. So why would I do that? It's kind of that's just a me thing. I get the coolness of getting something and opening up and getting gifts. I get why people do it, but it's just what stopped me from doing it. Mandalorian Season 2, I know, comics. Yep. Thank you for all the people who are saying nice things about our streaming and that we're doing this every night. Now listen, this is every night. So tomorrow night, happening again. So come back tomorrow night for another live stream chat. And we're just going to keep doing these for the foreseeable future. Hopefully they'll help you out. I was starting to get worn out by them, but the other guys stepped up and helped me by doing them on different nights. So I'm not doing it every single night anymore. So, but we'll have different guests, and we appreciate all the different people who've come on, and hopefully you've been enjoying them. And even if you don't listen to me and just come in and talk to the other people in chat, that's just a good way to communicate with people also. Thank you so much, y'all, for watching. I apologize for all the hiccups at the beginning, but we'll try to get those fixed for next time. I don't know what happened there, but I'll try to be ready more fully next time. Anyway, until next time, though, folks, I am Tom Vasel, and you guys are fantastic. Things will get better. We will do well. There's lots of cool things to take your mind off it. Lots of cool reviews going up and videos from the Dice Tower. Check them out. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.